Thank you so much for having me today, and I'm really pleased to be the first presenter. A little bit of pressure, but I'm very glad that I can present you what we're doing at Zpirit, where we came from, and where we're going, and also a little bit of technology showcasing and how we do things differently. So, some of you might know in Eastern Europe they cook compote, which is basically fruits and water and just a little bit of sugar, and it's canned in mason jars. So I was living in Poland for a while, and I discovered compote, and at the same time at work they were serving us infused water on a regular basis. So I thought about combining the two and marketing it North American style. So I came back about 3 years ago. I went in my mom's kitchen, like I guess a lot of food companies start, and I just bought a bunch of fruit and started cooking North American compote. So and a few months later, we came up with a first prototype. It just happened that it was not very palatable, and our first prospective customer, they did let us know that. And it took a few more iterations before we came to a product that had a clientele. So we launched in January 2013 with a little bit of funding from futurepreneurs, so people wanting to just start a business and have a business plan. That's a great way to start. Our first customer, Google, bought their first cases a few months later, and it took about 10 months before we did our first plant trial. Then we went for some funding, and in June 2014, we finally launched the product. So we've been on the market for a little bit less than 2 years now. And we right after that, we subsequently raised a little bit of money from Agri-Innovation, which is a very nice program that I recommend to innovative entrepreneur in the food area. And by August 2015, when we launched this new packaging that you see, we were selling about 1,500 cases per month. And branding, just a little parenthesis, I guess it's very important for us that when you're creating a new product, like a lot of people here are doing, it's very important that it communicates easily and the consumer gets it. So all the story is being told by the packaging. You can't be there doing a demo every time, and you can't scale if people don't get what your product is about. And in December 2015, we launched in the US. So we're doing infused water. We're actually the first beverage that has real pieces of fruit in the bottle. So we're steeping fresh herbs and adding real pieces of fruit in every bottle. It's a very low sugar, low calorie beverage that is better for you and is communicated as is. It's also all natural without any preservative. So, and we're doing that by controlling a few elements of the product itself, like pH and temperature and so on. So our industry is gigantic. It's $360 billion soft drink industry in the G8 countries. And within this industry, a lot of shifts are happening. Carbonated soft drinks are losing market share really quickly, and those market shares are being transferred to new emerging categories such as functional waters or ready-to-drink teas and so on. In North America, the functional beverage category, which is not necessarily new, but is definitely changing fast, is $17 billion. So even that subset of the industry is a huge playing field for entrepreneurs. So, but within that, we need to be set up on a very strong trend. So same thing, when launching a business, we need to be, you can have a great idea, but if you're positioning yourself on a declining trend, it's not a good way to try to revolutionize something that is shrinking. So the infused water, when we started in 2013, there was barely anything happening or any visibility on what that product or that category was. And we've since that the Google searches online are exploding, and that's fueled also by those infusers that people are now buying. Nobody had that 2 years ago, and now it's been a very common gift that are being handed around. But so since we launched, we're starting to see some other large companies feeling the trend and trying to leverage that to push their historical product. So, for example, V8, that belongs to Campbell, they created and launched last summer an infused water, as they call it. It's 25% fruit juice. What they've been doing historically is 75% water. So it's basically diluted juice, but they still call it like that because they feel the market demand for it. So the VP of sales for that division said that people are looking for water that is simple and flavorful and not just straight water, but not confusing either. So she really gets what this new category is about and how it's coming along together. Also, other trends that we see on the CPG side is people like Whole Foods in the US doing their own infused water on premise. So they're taking the leftovers, fruits and herbs, and they're repurposing that into infused water that has a 3-day shelf life. So the problem with this product is it cannot go through the supply chain that is required to push CPG at scale. So we discovered right now, and that's something I want to share with you, the sales model that works. So in every deal, we feel that there needs to be, at least in the CPG side for food, there needs to be a broker, a distributor, and a retailer working all together for the product or for making a deal happen. It's very hard, especially in the US, to get something done without one of these key components. Or you might get it one-off, but then you won't see the repeat behind. So it's really important for us to establish those connections with brokers, retailers, and distributors. No matter where we start the deal flow at any level, to be able to conclude it successfully, those three need to be together. Also, a good thing is we were first on infused water. So we've put a lot of efforts on the development of our website, of the SEO strategy, to come up really strong on that infused water keyword. So we get inquiries, inbound inquiries worldwide from potential distributors that are searching for infused water online. So that's infused water online is about 50,000 searches per year. So we made sure that on keywords such as infused water company, we're coming first worldwide. And we're targeting, or we need to perform at some point in 3 segments. First, food service is where we're putting most of our efforts, opening corporate offices, especially, but also healthy, quick service restaurants, and so on, is where we put the bulk of our sales efforts. So for us to be able to perform in sales channels such as Cisco is quite important. And then we find that once this is going, or once we get that those first customers in the corporate offices that give free product to their employees set up, the product will trickle down more or less naturally into the natural set of the grocery store. So a distributor will pick it up when we'll be able to close those deals a little bit faster. But at some point, right now we're not very active in that channel, but at some point if we want to be a successful beverage brand, we need to be able to perform in the convenience channel. There's still a lot of, even though they have their own challenge, there's still a lot of volume that is going through that channel. We're in right now in about 1,000 stores, mostly in Canada, 900 more or less in Canada and 100 in the US, a few in Spain. And we're working with more or less 20 distributors. Those top customers I was talking about are like Warner Brothers, Amazon headquarters, Google offices, are the key to our go-to-market strategy. So these guys are sampling for free every day our product. If they like it, bring it back home, talk about it to their friends. We're not paying for it, so the word gets out. And it's a great way for us to do free marketing by targeting those accounts. And to do that, we needed to be able to understand what their expectation was, and it was healthy, low sugar, and budget sensitive. So we need to hit all those 3 checkpoints to be able to crack that first customer base. And so we need to scale. So I won't spend too much time on that because it's confidential, but basically we're implementing a huge machine, and it's financed in part by Growing Forward that we're a recipient of. So that's very exciting, and it's going to decrease our production costs and our labor for the manufacturing of this product quite significantly. So we're still in fundraising mode. We did a little fundraising with Angel One Network from Burlington, Oakville, Burlington area in December, and now we're touring across Ontario. We're seeing all the Angel groups possible to finalize our funding round. Agri Innovation also, we have a great connection with OAFT and Agri Food Canada. And Agri Innovation, again, we're going back for that program for the innovative aspect of our machine and product. And we intend to launch new SKUs. So we've worked with colleges in the past, and that's also a great resource for small businesses to have some R&D done a little bit on the cheap. So we worked with George Brown College twice, and more recently developed new flavors with them and their food innovation studio, and it's been a great experience. And also the machine, if I may, I saw Louis here from Conestoga College. We worked with Conestoga College to develop the first prototype, and we learned a lot of things from that. So this, even though the prototype itself should not be implemented and help our operation, it helped us learn a lot of things that we're carrying on in that larger scale project. Sorry. In December this year, we intend to be selling about 12,000 cases per month and triple that the year after. So more or less our goals for this year is really increasing the retail locations. Actually, we're now 1,000, so our goal is way over 1,500 now. Sell 12,000 cases per month and increase our margin, among others, by implementing the machine, but also by increasing our sales in the US and benefiting from the strong dollar. And I guess Tyler was referring to that. Exporting right now is a golden opportunity for small manufacturers if they can get the ecosystem in place with appropriate I was discussing. So trying to get as much product south of the border is really something everybody should be thinking about seriously. That means labels that are ready, FDA compliant factories and so on. But I guess it's all worth it in the end. So at Zpirit, we're doing things a little bit differently. We do not go where the path may lead, but instead we go where there's none and we leave a trail behind. So this is what the product is about. This is what our manufacturing process is about, and how we intend to move forward as well. Thank you so much.